Well, interest rates have been a little bit rocky so far this week. We're going to talk about some of the reasons that interest rates are being pressured a little bit higher, and we're going to try and take a look at the future and see where we might be headed. And it all is about debt, y'all. That's the issue of the day as far as the movement in the bond market. But let's dive right into the numbers according to Mortgage News Daily. Today is the 23rd of January, Thursday. I hope everyone is doing well. Mortgage News Daily has the 30-year average for a fixed rate conforming loan today at 7.12%. 1 week ago today, we were a little bit lower at 7.07%. You go back 30 days, we were at 7.1%. So we've been hovering just above 7 in those low sevens now in the national average for about 30 days now, y'all. And what's pushing it higher is a little bit more resolve around our debt picture as a country. The Congressional Budget Office today released their debt projections for the next 10 years. They are expecting a 78% increase in the amount of needed issued debt by the United States Treasury in order to cover our basic obligations. And y'all, the scary part of that number is that assumes no new changes to our spending, which Congress has been extremely unlikely to comply with. We're going to continue to spend, and we're going to continue to increase spending in all likelihood, y'all. So that debt picture is even more bleak in the future than what these numbers suggest. The CBO is predicting that in 10 years, the amount of debt that we're carrying will constitute 118% of our gross domestic product. Right now, it's 98% of GDP. Y'all, here's what that means in a nutshell. We're not paying that back. What that means in the long term is anyone's guess. We're kind of getting into uncharted territory from a debt load standpoint. So it's going to just be interesting to see how the fixed income markets deal with the needed supply that's going to be required in order to service that amount of debt. Long term, y'all, it doesn't paint a real pretty picture for interest rates, although there are some things that can help us in the shorter term. Obviously, lower reads on inflation will help us. But in particular, lower reads on the labor market. When you look at the trend line over the last 22 months in the labor market, we have seen more and more strain in the labor markets. And if that continues, y'all, if we surprise to the negative side of things, if we get above 4.5% unemployment, as an example, sitting at 4.2 today, we get above 4.5%, there's a number of Fed members that have indicated that 4.5% level is a key trigger point for them. And you could see a number of people switch and become far more bullish on where they would like to see us with regard to cuts. Right now, the Congressional Budget Office, just based on debt, is predicting only one additional cut this year of 0.25%. So that's even more reserved than where the Fed had indicated. So where is it all going to hang out, y'all? Not entirely sure. All I know is rates are a little bit higher today than they were last week. And I'm going to continue to keep an eye on this for y'all and report back as anything changes. Here's the bottom line, y'all, that I would give advice to borrowers, and what I'm telling them daily when I'm visiting with them is this. Refinances are a thing. If you don't like where interest rates are today, at some point they're likely to moderate to a degree. So you're either going to buy a house if you're not, or you're not. And if you're thinking about buying a house, waiting just doesn't seem to have a whole lot of good common sense to it, because we've got some softness in the market today from a price and concession standpoint. Borrowers ought to take advantage of that, and if we see interest rates move in the future, then let's take advantage of a refinance. Refinances are easy to do. We have all of your records, so that if you've done a purchase with us, it's a pretty easy deal to dive in, update what we need, and get you refinanced and closed on better terms. So in any event, I'm going to keep an eye on this for you folks. Just as a mantra, date the mortgage, marry the house. Grab one if you want one, and let's move forward from there. In any event, I hope this is helpful for you and for your clients. As always, my contact information is on the screen. We're honored to have your referrals. Stay blessed, stay safe, and we will talk to you next week.